All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem HaKakodash, and double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere Shalom to you, God, bringing out this word in diligence and in truth. And this article is from the RT, and it reads, Russia and India no longer need the U.S. dollar. And this is coming from the BRICS president. Now, we understand that the BRICS consist of 5 nations currently, but I believe there have been 3 to 5 other nations who've submitted contracts in order to join or to be grouped in with the BRICS nations. So it'll be BRICS plus, so like the plus sign. You have the countries of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, man. So it says the 2 countries have successfully established a mechanism for mutual settlements in rubles and rupees. And this basically goes to show you that America isn't that superpower that it once was, man. Because when you take a look at, how the global power, the global power shift has been, America has always been in the midst of everyone's, not only their deals, but in their lands physically, man. Being that the U.S. has embassies everywhere in the country, or it's like everywhere in the world, and basically this is Russia and India cutting a tie of America, man. This is like if one of your arteries basically, or if 2 of your arteries just stop working, man, because America is dependent upon the exports and imports. Basically the imports, or the imports that come into this country, they're dependent upon the rest of the countries, man. Because America doesn't have anything homegrown, like it once did, man. The breadbasket of the earth is seen within Russia and Ukraine. You have oil. Even though America, produces a lot of oil, they're a top producing country. You still have countries like Russia. You still have countries like or continents like South America, man. Even countries within the Middle East that produce this vast amount of oil. But this just goes to show you that they're cutting ties with this place completely, man. Everybody's starting to hate this beast, man, or hate this horde. It says hate this horde. It says the 2 countries have successfully established a mechanism for mutual settlements in rubles and rupees, which means they don't need a middleman of America anymore. It says Russia and India don't need the U.S. dollar in trade. Exactly, that middleman is taken out and it's straight from the supplier now. It says having turned to national currencies to conduct mutual settlements, BRICS International Forum President Purnima Anand told reporters on Thursday, we have implemented the mechanism of mutual settlements in rupees. It's like in rubles and rupees. And there is no need for our countries to use the dollar in mutual settlements. And today, a similar mechanism of mutual settlements in rubles and yuan is being developed by China. So what? China is basically at the point where it's about to cut off using U.S. dollars completely, man. So that shows you, those are 3 big markets in which America benefited, man. When we go into Revelation 18 chapter, and it talks about, matter of fact, I'll grab it. It says, seeing the merchants afar off, right? There's Revelation 18 and it's a lot. So there's a Revelation 18 and I'll start here. I kind of got to read the whole. I start 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Right? America has made these countries rich. Whether it be countries like China, who are forerunners, Taiwan, so forth, who are forerunners of chip development, and that's all electronic devices, because they outsource their supply, from countries like Africa, that mine cobalt and mine these precious metals in order to put inside these CPUs. So it says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? And a lot of that trade is also done, by cargo ship. It says, and I heard another voice come from heaven, saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. But I want to go down unto this verse here, 11. It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, because that commerce is left. But what they're doing right now, it's still a checkmate to America, because what they're doing is, they're cutting out their way of the way that they've been grabbing and seizing money from everyone, which is being that middleman, because currencies have to be exchanged through that dollar, right? It says, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Right, and this is going to be after, this is ultimately talking about, when Babylon is destroyed, because once America is destroyed, they're no longer going to even be considered, as a place in which these nations get rich, because it's going to be completely through. But what they're doing is they're still stripping the power from America. This is like a jab before a haymaker, so to speak. And the haymaker is ultimately Yahweh Shem Yahshua knocking this place out with thermonuclear missiles. But before that, the American economy has to be in shambles, man. And these nations are stripping away the power of the dollar, which is ultimately going to do that, man. Now, I also want to go into this precept here. This is Jeremiah 49:15, because this is a point. Because when you go into this word, it says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. And when you go into this word, small, right? It says, Quatan, which is 869.96. It says young, small, this is the point, insignificant, unimportant, right? And when you go into those two words, insignificant and important, it basically shows you that it's insignificant means it doesn't matter, man. You're not a factor. Or unimportant means what? You hold no power to sway a decision, Because if you're unimportant, you hold no weight, which is exactly the place that America is being placed in. Your word isn't your word anymore, basically. And your money is useless. You're nothing. Which is exactly what this article is going into. With Russia and India no longer needing the dollar and China right behind them, America is losing that superpower that it has. Really, the only power that it's about to hold on to is the power to destroy. As the scriptures say, when they made fire rain down from heaven, man, which is the thermonuclear missile. But the thing is, all the rest of these countries have it too. So what does that? So if everyone has the power to destroy each other, then your power is lessened in a sense, even though you're still a threat. But we also understand the scriptures say that all the nations that bend their bow shoot her, spare no arrows. So now it's just going to grow enemies with America, being everybody shoot at this place. It says the BRICS president said mutual trade between India and Russia have grown fivefold over the past 40 years. Moscow supplies a rapidly growing volume of oil to India, and in return gets large quantities of agricultural products, textiles, medicines, and other products. Now I'm going down to read this. It says, when Russia's military operation in Ukraine began, naturally there was pressure on India to stop importing Russian oil, but the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had to reject this pressure. The Russian side was assured that supplies would not be stopped, and sanctions regime would in no way affect the relationship between our countries. BRICS, and on top of that, the plus of BRICS nations, who is it? I believe it was a couple countries in South America. I can't think of all the countries, but I believe it's 3 to 5 other countries, that are joining that BRICS. So this is just going to show you that America, is being decomposing, man. It's decomposing. The legs that it was built on, they are failing, man. I just believe that this would be a good lesson to go on in the spirit. Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone, and a sincere shalom to all you I can bring out this word in diligence and in truth. Shalom.